Hey there. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to improvise on our practice pad. So yeah, just going to do a little free form. We're going to start without a metronome, and then we'll try with a metronome, and then yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll put on some music or something. All right, here we go. So this kind of thing is a really good way to warm up your hands and warm up the mind. So right now I'm just kind of playing in free time, not thinking about anything. I'm not thinking, what's the tempo? I'm not thinking, are these 16th notes, triplets, or something else? I'm just hitting the pad. I'm just warming. I'm playing at a tempo that my hands feel really comfortable at, and where I can make a nice even sound. Little buzz roll. So you can just do the same thing. You don't have to follow me. Decrescendos. Now crescendos, decrescendos. Trying to transition between the dynamic ranges, so from very quiet to very loud in a smooth manner. So not like there was no middle dynamic there. All right, that felt pretty good. Now let's do with a metronome. So there's still going to be not really too much structure to this, other than there will now be a tempo. I'm feeling like according to my tap function, the tap function on this metronome, that's 78 beats per minute. So I'm not going to put a strong beat either. So I'm not going to think about if I'm in 4/4 time or 6/8 time or whatever. This is just now a tempo. goes the cloth I tried to put up. Cool. That's fun. So if you've got sticks and a pad, do your own improvisation. You don't have to follow me. You can listen and try to get some ideas maybe. Try out a couple things. But really it's anything goes. So there we just had a tempo, but I was really trying not to play in any sort of, like if I heard myself play something that was saying 4/4 time, I would just like add an extra beat or something so that I didn't fall into these habits that we often have, which is to play things. At least in North America, most of our music is in 4/4 time, like the vast majority. So it's really easy, having grown up and listened to music in 4/4 time my entire life, to just kind of go there, by default. So yeah, really trying to try think differently, and be really focused. As soon as I lose focus, I'm just gonna fall into these kind of, let's play on autopilot basically. So yeah, now having said that, I'm gonna actually add a strong beat. So first thing we did is we warmed up in free time, so there was no timing. I was really trying not to play any sort of like rhythms that would kind of create a tempo. So I was really making a point to avoid that, and I was just listening to my hands. So I was listening to what I was doing, but I was more listening to my hands and where do they feel like really relaxed, and what kind of movements are easy to do, and then what things was I tensing up, or what things were causing me to tense up. All right. So next step was we created a tempo, but still playing in free time. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to put a strong beat on the metronome. So now we're going to play with a tempo. We're going to use a tempo. So it'll sound like this. So we're going to use the same tempo because we're getting a little comfortable with this. All right? So you can still play very free. You can use triplets, eighth notes, quarter notes, offbeat rhythms, quintuplets, whatever you know, just play it. And listen to what you're doing and try to make it. This is one of the most challenging things we can do as drummers, is to learn how to play musically on a single surface. So I don't have all the tom-toms and the cymbals and everything, and which is a lot easier to make something like that maybe sounds like a musical kind of idea. But on a single surface, this is a lot more challenging. So that's a good thing. Hopefully by the end of this, we'll have grown a little bit as musicians and drummers. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, that was pretty fun too. So I was playing in 4/4 time. I was using a mixture of different rhythms. So some slow rhythms, quarter notes, eighth notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, triplets, sixteenths, 16th note triplets, and then 30 seconds. So I use mixtures of those with an assortment of rudiments. So I was using some flams, some dregs. What else did I use? I used singles, doubles. I wonder if I used paradiddles. If I didn't, then I'm surprised. So I used those things to help me to create something musical. From there, I was just thinking about what I call melodic rhythm. So melodic rhythm is like thinking, because we're on a single surface, so we're making rhythm, you know? But if we think about it, like, it's not like I'm singing a melody in my head, but I'm singing rhythms in my head that is like, it's a song. Yeah, it's kind of maybe the thing I don't really know how to describe it better than that, but rhythmic melody. So I could be thinking like, you know, like the classic that da 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 da. So I might start with something, then da 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 da. Right? So I ended both times. Da 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 da. Right? So there's like a tag at the end. So that's something that's repeated, which is used a lot in composition, repetition. So yeah, those kind of things. So that's it. I'm using sticking patterns, so singles, doubles, diddles, and rudiments. Singles, doubles. Oh, sorry, I'm using rhythms, rudiments, and then rhythmic melody. And those three things I find work, and dynamics. So there's four actually. But those things kind of combined can create a musical statement on a single surface like this, so on the practice pad in this case. Um, Otherwise, if we just use like one of them, say if I just use rhythm, let's try that. I'm only going to play singles, and I'm just going to change speeds. I'm not to different rhythms. I'm not going to use dynamics or rudiments or anything. I'm just going to change to different rhythms, and let's see if that sounds musical. If that sounds like music, or if it just sounds like an exercise. I don't know. We're about to discover this. All right. Yeah, I mean that was kind. There might have been it might have been a little bit musical, but it was kind of monotonous. So yeah, that's maybe had I almost started adding in some like different stickings and stuff, so I had to stay kind of diligent about that. But yeah, so that's it. It's those things combined. Those are the things that I'm thinking about right now off the top of my head. I'm probably missing something. If you ever studied like another instrument, like say piano, and tried to compose music, and maybe took some classes on composing music, then there are other things like theme and flipping themes around and stretching them and cutting things out and reversing them. And there's all these little things. So I was probably doing some of those things as well without thinking about it. But yeah, so that's it. So just as a recap for today, what we were doing, we started with free form, just really listening to our hands. So not listening too much to what we're doing. That kind of thing. Then we played to a metronome without a strong beat. So we just played to this. Right? But not playing it, really trying not to play in 4/4 time. So just playing a tempo. And then the third step was we added in the strong beat, played in 4/4. All right? Using these different elements of what, at least in my opinion, what I think makes great improvisation, but just what makes music really good is some of the elements that we used on, well, I was on the practice pad. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. This was entirely improvised. Usually we're doing a worksheet, but this is how I was feeling today. It's a Friday, it's sunny out, it's the end of the week. So I didn't want to, try to kind of improvise my way into the weekend. I hope that was as cheesy as it sounded in my head. All right, cool. Well, I wish you a great weekend if you watch to the end, and we'll see you on Monday.